Hey guys, how you doing? Right here again. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, it's Nitro Kyosho. What I have here to talk about is my new blade, mcpx. Okay, this is the first collective pitch ever made in this size, and this thing is phenomenal. It's awesome. Don't walk to go buy one of these. Run as fast as you can to your local hobby shop and buy 2 or 3 of these things, because they are a blast. One quick thing to talk about. I'm not going to do an out of a box review. Just going to talk about a few things. There's a million out of box reviews on this already. One thing I will touch upon is a lot of people bothering Horizon Hobby saying these wobble, these vibrate, these shake. Okay. Mine didn't out of the box, and they did have a recall on the blade grips. Okay, so if you don't have a letter B on the blade grip, you probably have the original set that was, I guess, defective in some form. But these were fixed after the recall. Okay, there's only 2 reasons why this is going to shake, vibrate, and wobble on you. Okay, guys. One is if you bent your feathering shaft. But that's not the issue. I found out what the issue was. I was playing with this pretty rough in the backyard, and I crashed it. They don't break, obviously. It's so light. But I crashed it into the grass, and when I went to spool it back up, it was doing what everybody said, vibrating and shaking. And I'd seen one guy wrapping rubber bands on his blade grips and saying that was going to fix the problem. That's not the problem. That's stupid, okay? The problem can be fixed in about 2 seconds using a Craftsman made in USA, which is a rarity nowadays, 3/16 nut driver. Okay? And why it vibrates and why it wobbles is because these gears are not, they don't have a screw holding them onto the shaft. Okay? Now, this isn't a Blade 400 and it isn't a T-Rex. Okay? Now, if they're vibrating, there's a million different possibilities why. Okay, and I've gone over that in other videos, so I'm not going to go over it with this. This doesn't have a metal shaft, so obviously the main shaft can't bend. Okay, it's either going to break, crack, that's it. How you fix it? Sometimes in a crash, there's a flat spot in the shaft where the gear slides on. These gears are pressed on. You can press them on and pull them off with your fingers. And what happens in a crash sometimes is the gear down here, okay, will slide down on the shaft a little bit, alright? And that is allowing the shaft to move up and down, up and down. There shouldn't be that much movement, as you can see here, okay? It shouldn't be going boom, 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 up and down. And what happens is that gear just slides down a little bit. And you can see when it's on the motor pinion, it should be in the center, and it shouldn't, this gear should not move, this main gear here should not move out of the center of that pinion gear, okay? It should stay in the center at all times moving this. How to fix it? Very simple. Take your nut driver here, okay, like I said, this is a 3/16, so the hole fits right around the bottom of the gear, that plastic part. Alright, put it on there like that, and gently put your finger on top of the, I guess you'd call it a head block housing on this, and just gently push until the gear goes back up where it should be, which is basically as far as it'll go, up against the bottom of the, I don't know what you would call it on this, it's actually part of the frame, but that's basically, if you can see that gear, how it looks in there. Alright, that's a simple fix, guys, and that's what's causing the vibrating. Now, if that doesn't do it, then most chances are you've bent your feathering shaft and it's time to replace it. Alright, but this thing is phenomenal. Okay, I fly T-Rexes, like, as you know, line helicopters, and I've had all the line. I've got the 120 SR and the MCX2, and These things are just a blast. This thing is, they've really, Horizon Hobby outdid themselves with this. This flies like my T-Rex, back and forth, the banking, the turning, everything. It's awesome, awesome helicopter. Recommended 100%. Now, when you set up your transmitter, it can be a little tricky with this. What I did was I set it up by the book what they said, okay, and I use that on my dual rates. Okay, I set those up. My regular flying, I set up, okay, at your zeros, your 0 points here, okay. And then the way they told me to set it up in the book, I set it so when I flip the elevator to 1, the aileron to 1, and the rudder to 1, then it goes to like your 3D extreme type flying. All right. And I'll tell you quickly what I have mine set to. Alright, I have my, on the regular cruising type mode, I have it set to 50% aileron, okay, and then minus 40% the expo. On the elevator, it's set to 50%, and then minus 40% on the expo. The rudder is 100%, and there's nothing set for the expo on that. Then when I flip the switches for 3D flying, okay, they go to 100% aileron plus 30%, okay. On the expo, 100%, and then plus 30% on the expo settings. Alright, now this works a little bit different, okay. When you have like an aligned T-Rex, 450 or Blade 400, and you want to tone it down, then you go into your aileron, your elevators, and you don't do anything with the expo, or the exponential. You're just setting the first set of numbers here, okay? And on those type of helicopters, if you want them to be mushy feeling and slow down, then you're giving it like plus 30, plus 25% on the aileron elevator, and that gives it so when you move the stick quick, the helicopter, the servos are more mushy. They don't react as quickly, okay? It's good for people learning hovering or just general flying if you don't want it too responsive. Now on this, when you want to do your servo throws, okay, for the expo part of it, it's backwards, okay? Going minus is what's going to give you less throw, okay, on these servos, which is going to make it, you know, not react as quick because it's not pitching as quick. The angle isn't going to be as harsh. All right. And as far as you know, as far as making it kind of mushy feeling, I got mine set for like 50% on both the aileron and elevator. I found the expo to be more, if you want to cruise around, setting that minus 40 and minus 40. But those are my basic settings. I mean, you can play around with the settings and find what you like. But anyways, 2 thumbs up to Horizon Hobby. I actually called them today and gave them a nice compliment on this little bird here. The durability so far, as much as I've flown, it seems to be similar to the 120 SR and the MCX2 and the MSR. Time will tell. Remember, you know, it is a small little unit, so, you know, I don't know if it can hold up to the abuse of flying it to the 20 times in a row. You want to let it cool down in between, and, you know, you don't want to run your batteries over probably 5 minutes for general flying and 3 or 4 minutes for 3D. And so set your timers. The batteries aren't that expensive. They're only about $10, so you can get yourself a bunch of them. But anyways, guys, like I said, I didn't want to put out an out-of-box review. There's already a million of them out there, and just wanted to give you some tips. So remember that gear. This is your cure-all, okay? So everybody can stop bothering Horizon Hobby. I'm sure they've had enough of phone calls, all right, about the wobbling and the vibrating. That's what's causing it. Just push your main gear up there and you're good to go. If that doesn't do it, then there's probably a good chance that your feathering shaft is bent, because You're not going to have a bent tail boom, and you're not going to have a bent main shaft like a T-Rex, And so that's basically it, guys. That's all I got to say. Good luck. Have fun with this thing, and definitely pick one up. If you'd like to subscribe, it's Nitro Kyosho. Thanks for watching. Hope this helped.